Hello everyone, my name is Rihanna May Ocampo, and this is my infectious disease presentation about dengue fever. So this is what I'm going to be talking about today. I'm going to be going over a brief introduction of the fever, some symptoms, some treatments, some new research, and some resources using APA style reference. So first and foremost, what is dengue fever? Well, dengue is a viral infection that is caused by the dengue virus, DENV. The dengue virus is a small single-stranded RNA virus and primarily inhabits tropical regions. This virus belongs to the family of Flaviviridae and genus Flavivirus. Also, I included the link to the image or GIF to your right. Next on our list is how it's transmitted, or the mode of transmission. The dengue fever is transmitted through the bite of tropical mosquitoes, such as the Aedes species. Some major factors contributing to the dengue fever are climate change, travel, and globalization. It's important to note that most infections occur in urban areas, because urbanization provides reliable water sources in which mosquitoes can breed, and a great number of human resources for the disease to spread easily. And now for the history of the dengue fever. Its first outbreak, or first suspected outbreaks, were reported in 1653 in Guadalupe and 1699 in Panama. This spread was due to the lack of technology and knowledge about the fever. Then it was later introduced. The virus was very common in areas like the Caribbean, South America, and parts of Africa, and the dengue virus was later introduced to America in 1780. Now, how the virus got its name. It was originally described as dengue, but clinical characteristics suggested chikungunya disease. The introduction of the virus was due to an ongoing African slave trade, in which they later named the fever dengue, but it was then changed to dengue. Following the history of the dengue fever, I've also included worldwide stats that I found. About 400 million people get infected with dengue each year. About 100 million people get sick from the infection, whereas 40,000 die from severe dengue fever. Going more into depth, I've included dengue in the U.S. statistics. From 2010 to 2023, about 45,064 cases were reported in the U.S., and according to CDC in 2016, the annual case count was 903 cases. Most cases reported in the U.S. occur in travelers that were infected elsewhere, which also leads to the spread. And most outbreaks in the U.S. have been relatively small and limited. And now for the signs and symptoms of dengue fever. It's important to note if these symptoms occur, they'll begin 4 to 10 days after infection and last about 2 to 7 days. Now these symptoms include high fever, vomiting and nausea, severe headaches and joint pain, pain behind the eyes, swollen glands, red rash spots, and some may experience gastritis. Now, as mentioned with the red spots, this is a pic of the red spots on an adult, and this is one visual symptom of the dengue virus. I have also included the link to the image down below. Following the signs and symptoms of the dengue virus, now we actually have to diagnose it. It's good to take into account that both of these tests are given in the initial period of the infection. The two tests include the IgM test, or immunoglobulin M test, and this is a test choice for the first 5 days. It's a blood test that measures levels of types of antibodies in the blood, and with further testing, it tests for the absence of IgM antibodies, which are the body's first line of defense mechanism to infections. Now, if you are positive for dengue, the test detects the IgM antibodies. Now for the next test, the RT-PCR test, this is more accurate as it detects RNA of the virus itself, and it's a test choice for the initial stage of the infection, like I said, and it can detect the dengue virus groups immediately. The dengue fever is commonly mistaken for the chikungunya virus, and it was mainly commonly mistaken during the first outbreaks. This is due to similar characteristics between the two. The characteristics include the rashes, joint pain, high fever, and severe headaches, but there are several characteristics for each that can be differentiated between them. For example, with the dengue fever, this is caused by the Flaviviridae flavivirus, whereas the chikungunya is caused by the Tocoviridae alphavirus. And dengue also causes bleeding and breathing problems, whereas chikungunya does not. It causes rashes in the face, palm, and feet and limbs, whereas the dengue causes rashes only in the face and limbs. Knowing the consequences and attributes of the dengue fever, now we can talk about the treatments involving dengue fever. Unfortunately, there are no specific treatments for it, but the treatments are more so to focus on the pain, two of which include acetaminophen and Dengvaxia. Acetaminophen controls pain, and it's recommended to be taken for 1 to 2 weeks, which is also the estimated recovery time, but the side effects include hepatic injury. For Dengvaxia, this is a vaccine for those who have had dengue fever at least once in their lives, and it's used in places where dengue fever is most common. It's recommended to do 3 doses for 6 months apart, which ensures full protection from the virus. The side effects also include headache, redness, pain, weakness, and fever. In terms of preventing the dengue fever, there are simple and more complex ways to do so. A simple way includes mosquito control, which is critical in preventing the dengue fever as well as the other mosquito-borne diseases. Another simple way is widespread spraying with insecticide, which obviously controls the mosquito population. And another way is the Dengvaxia vaccine, which I've already mentioned. The CDC recommends the vaccine for children 9 through 16 who live in areas where dengue is endemic and who have had dengue previously. Now, some easy preventions that you can adapt to your everyday life are wearing clothes that can cover the majority of the body and using window screens. Now for some new research about the dengue fever. A Nicaraguan study revealed the ineffectiveness of the Dengvaxia vaccine. The new findings showed an increase in infected patients with the dengue virus, including those who have actually had it. And this new discovery called for a reevaluation of the Dengvaxia vaccine. It's reevaluating its efficiency and validity. And because of this, there is a need for a new and effective vaccine against the dengue virus. Thank you for your time and listening to me ramble about the dengue virus and fever. And this is my reference page for reference. Thank you.